Roman Reigns has finally spoken out, following his unexpected loss at Crown Jewel, delivering an interview that has already created ripples across the wrestling world. Unlike typical promotional interviews, Roman took the opportunity to share his perspective on the events leading up to the match, the storylines, and his personal experiences behind the scenes at WWE. He discussed how the finish of the match was changed at the last minute, without prior notice, explaining that he had been under the impression he would come out victorious, which made preparing for the story challenging. According to Roman, the shift was not just a creative decision, but also a reflection of how management sometimes handles even the biggest stars. This insight offers fans a rare glimpse into the delicate balance between performer expectations and company direction, showing that the process behind the scenes can be more complex and nuanced than what audiences see on television. Behind-the-scenes power dynamics. In the interview, Roman addressed how influence and decision-making work backstage, shedding light on the intricate power dynamics within WWE. He revealed that despite Triple H officially overseeing creative direction, Vince McMahon continues to have an impact on major decisions and storylines. Roman explained that while the company publicly promotes itself as being more talent-friendly under new leadership, some practices from the Vince era persist, particularly regarding last-minute changes and creative control. He also touched on the sensitive negotiations surrounding contracts, describing situations in which wrestlers are offered deals that may not reflect their value, and how these negotiations sometimes tie into how storylines are booked. By sharing this, Roman emphasized that the industry involves more than just performance. It includes strategy, management considerations, and navigating complex interpersonal relationships. Contract negotiations and creative influence. Roman provided context on his own contract situation, explaining that he is in the final year of his current deal and has experienced tense negotiations for his next contract. He mentioned that WWE often presents contracts in a way that tests the talent's willingness to accept less than they are worth, and that creative decisions sometimes serve as leverage during these discussions. While this may sound harsh, Roman framed it as part of the business reality of WWE, illustrating the pressure performers face to align with company goals while advocating for themselves. He also highlighted that these decisions can affect not only the top stars, but wrestlers across the roster, subtly influencing character pushes, storylines, and overall screen time. By sharing this, Roman offered a candid look at the intersection of business and creativity within wrestling. The Tribal Chief story and character development, one of the most personal aspects of Roman's interview, was his discussion about the Tribal Chief character, which has become one of his most successful personas. He explained that he initially resisted the character because he feared it might feel repetitive or lack depth, but he eventually embraced it to add nuance and complexity to the role. Roman described how he worked to layer the character, giving fans a more intricate and engaging version of the dominant champion persona. He also addressed internal family dynamics, noting that some members had concerns about how certain aspects of the storyline represented Samoan culture. While WWE maintained that the story was working creatively, Roman shared that he consistently raised these concerns, demonstrating his commitment to balancing compelling storytelling with cultural respect and sensitivity. Paul Heyman's role in WWE. Roman offered insight into Paul Heyman's influence within WWE, explaining that Heyman's role extends beyond being a manager or on-screen performer. According to Roman, Heyman contributes to talent evaluation, storyline planning, and creative discussions, giving him a level of influence that affects multiple careers. Roman suggested that Heyman's decisions can guide which talent receives opportunities and which wrestlers may struggle to gain traction. He used this context to provide perspective on Heyman's alignment with Bronson Reed at Crown Jewel, noting that strategic choices often consider both character storylines and long-term business priorities. This explanation helps fans understand that the wrestling industry operates with layers of strategy behind the storylines, often blending business considerations with creative expression. Reflections on WWE culture and management. Roman's discussion extended to the broader culture within WWE, highlighting the tension between performer input and management priorities. He shared that, over the years, he has witnessed how decisions sometimes favor immediate impact over long-term storytelling, and that these choices are often shaped by the company's historical approach to building narratives. Roman's commentary suggests that while the company continues to evolve publicly, some underlying practices, such as last-minute creative changes or strategic talent management, remain part of WWE's framework. By providing this insight, he invited fans to see the organization from a more nuanced perspective, illustrating the challenges of balancing audience expectations, performer ambitions, and corporate strategy. Future prospects and personal reflections. Perhaps the most striking portion of Roman's interview was his reflection on his future in WWE. He spoke candidly about considering opportunities outside the company for the first time, reflecting on what creative freedom or different experiences might mean for him personally and professionally. Roman's openness demonstrates both his connection to WWE and his willingness to explore new horizons, emphasizing that even top performers weigh career decisions carefully and thoughtfully. He also acknowledged the emotional complexity of potentially leaving the organization that has been central to his life and career, giving fans a rare glimpse into the human side of professional wrestling beyond the scripted entertainment, industry implications, and wrestler empowerment. Roman's interview has wider implications for the wrestling industry as a whole. His willingness to speak openly about contract negotiations, creative frustrations, and backstage dynamics could encourage other wrestlers to share their experiences, increasing transparency and fostering dialogue between talent and management. Such openness could help promote healthier working conditions and better collaboration, shifting the industry culture to one where performers' voices are more clearly heard and respected. At the same time, it poses challenges for maintaining the traditional suspension of disbelief that wrestling relies upon, requiring promotions to carefully navigate the balance between transparency and storytelling to ensure fans remain fully engaged. Media response and WWE's official reaction. Following Roman's interview, WWE issued a brief statement emphasizing his value while suggesting that his remarks did not reflect the full context of their internal processes. Many viewed the statement as carefully worded corporate communication, designed to address the situation without fully engaging with the substance of Roman's claims. Meanwhile, wrestling journalists and insiders have begun corroborating certain elements of his account, noting similar experiences shared by former WWE talent. This combination of official response and external verification has intensified interest in the story and reinforced Roman's role in bringing attention to aspects of the wrestling industry that often remain hidden from public view. Possible on-screen implications. The interview raises questions about how WWE will continue to book Roman on television. Options include integrating elements of his real-life frustrations into his character, continuing storylines without acknowledgement, or adjusting his bookings in ways that reflect management's response. While historically WWE has preferred to control narrative and avoid public acknowledgement of backstage realities, Roman's high profile may encourage creative experimentation. Fans are left to wonder whether WWE will embrace the opportunity for more layered storytelling or adhere to traditional approaches, balancing the performer's perspective with audience expectations. Opportunities beyond WWE. Roman's comments also highlight the potential for opportunities outside WWE. Reports indicate interest from promotions such as AEW and NJPW, which could benefit from his presence in terms of talent credibility and audience reach. For Roman, exploring alternatives represents a chance to experience new environments, wrestling styles, and creative possibilities. The fact that these conversations are even taking place underscores his stature in professional wrestling and the influence he wields as one of the industry's most recognizable performers. Conclusion: a new chapter in wrestling. Roman Reigns' decision to speak openly about his experiences has created one of the most notable wrestling discussions in recent years. By sharing personal reflections, insights into creative processes, contract dynamics, and backstage culture, he has provided fans with an unprecedented perspective on the industry. The interview has implications not just for him, but for other performers, management practices, and fan understanding of wrestling as both entertainment and business. Whether his revelations lead to long-term changes, inspire conversations about performer treatment, or alter how storylines are developed, one thing is clear: Roman Reigns' voice has opened a door that invites reflection, discussion, and possibly evolution in professional wrestling. The industry may never be viewed the same way again, and fans and wrestlers alike are paying close attention to what happens next.